Hey, welcome to Daily Bravo Drama. In this video, we will be talking about Brynn Whitfield quitting RHONY, Brandi Glanville's wild medical mystery, Taylor Ann Green's messy cheating split, the Valley's dark side Danny drama, and Rory's Dino facing life in prison. We'll cover everything coming up in this audio.
Hey, this is Delilah.
Hey, this is Fahid.
Welcome to Reality TV Audio Podcast, where we break down the latest in reality TV every day.
Yeah, and we have an absolutely massive stack of news to get through today. I mean, it is just packed.
Oh, totally packed. And if you are listening right now and feeling, completely overwhelmed trying to keep up with every single cast statement and legal filing, do not worry. We have pulled all the actual facts together to just get you totally caught up.
Exactly. So let's just jump right into the viral news from the Vanderpump and Valley universe.
Yeah, let's start with Ariana Madix. She just gave a pretty mega update to shut down some of those really stubborn rumors going around. She did. She went on a recent podcast because she wanted to directly address the confusion about her finances, specifically regarding the house she co-owned with Tom Sandoval.
Right.
So she confirmed definitively that she is, in fact, getting her share of the money from the sale of that house.
Which is huge. But I think the more important part was what she said about Tom's ALOC loan.
Oh, absolutely.
And let's actually just pause there for a second and explain what ALOC is, because people throw that term around a lot online. It stands for a home equity line of credit. It basically means you borrow money against the value of your own house.
Right, and Tom took one out. So for months, fans just assumed Ariana was legally on the hook for his debt since they owned the property together.
Exactly, which is why her statement was such a big deal. She clarified that she never paid a single dime toward his ALOC loan.
Wait, really? Not a dime?
Yeah, exactly, zero. She said she held her ground and totally walled off her finances from his debt.
Well, that is a very smart business move. And she also gave a quick update on her boyfriend, Daniel Way.
Oh, yeah, because she's out filming Love Island USA right now, right?
Yeah, she is. And she said Daniel is actually flying out to Fiji to celebrate her birthday with her.
Oh, wow, that's fun.
Yeah, and she mentioned that the first week of hosting Love Island is just incredibly hectic. They have to film the intro and the After Sun show at the exact same time.
I can't even imagine the scheduling for that.
Yeah.
But did she say anything about the long-distance thing with Daniel?
She did, actually. She said they do not even consider themselves long-distance anymore because he is in LA so frequently.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, and she also teased that she might be going back to the NBC comedy St. Dennis Medical.
Yeah.
She pointed out that the writers left her character's storyline completely open-ended.
It is really fascinating to look at how Ariana is operating right now. She is strictly handling things like a business.
Totally.
She isn't feeding into the emotional drama at all. She closed out the real estate issue, locked in that massive hosting gig, and is just actively building her acting resume.
Yeah, it's a very clinical, very effective career pivot. But, all right, let's move over to the Valley, specifically Season 3, Episode 8.
Oh boy, the San Diego trip.
Yeah, the drag pageant. Let's just run through the facts of who won what. Zach Wickham won Miss Petty.
Huh, fitting.
Right. And then Luke Broderick took Miss Taken, and Tom Schwartz got Miss Congeniality.
Typical Schwartz.
Always. Also, just a quick factual side note from that trip. Jason Capernaugh suffered a pretty bad knee injury while they were playing basketball.
Oh, man, that looked painful. But the actual core drama of the trip was definitely focused on Danny Bucco's behavior toward his wife, Nia.
Right. The issue was Danny's tone. He was speaking to Nia really dismissively, and Lala Kent just decided to step in and aggressively call him out for it.
Yeah, she did not hold back.
Right.
And then the next day, Danny pulled Lala aside to apologize. He essentially blamed his behavior on how much alcohol he'd been drinking.
But Lala completely rejected the apology, right?
Exactly. She questioned his sincerity entirely. She felt like he was just trying to quickly sweep his bad behavior under the rug for the cameras.
Which, is a classic reality TV move. But then this escalated into Lala claiming that Kristen Doute has an alliance with Danny and Nia.
Yeah, Lala said Kristen willfully ignores his drinking because she just wants to protect her friends.
I mean, I have to push back on Lala's logic a little bit there. Is it really a calculated reality TV alliance, or is Kristen just blindly defending her friends because she doesn't want to admit things are messy?
That is a very fair point.
Because, frankly, trying to intervene in a friend's marriage is usually a terrible idea. You're probably going to get burned by both the husband and the wife.
Oh, absolutely. And Kristen fired back, saying Lala's attacks are actually being fueled by Janet Capernaugh behind the scenes.
Which Lala denied.
Right. And Janet complained that she is just exhausted by constantly being blamed for everything in the group. Plus, Zach jumped in and accused Brittany Cartwright of making passive-aggressive digs at Nia.
See, this is exactly how a reality TV ensemble deflects. The original issue was Danny being rude to his wife. But 24 hours later...
It's not about Danny anymore.
Exactly. It's suddenly about Lala's delivery, Janet's manipulation, and Kristen's loyalties. The heat totally shifts from the guy who misbehaved to the women arguing about it.
It is a brilliant, albeit subconscious, diversion tactic. Okay, let's quickly hit some summer house rumors.
Yeah, Wes Wilson. Fans were claiming they saw him on Rhea.
Right, and just to clarify for anyone who doesn't know, Rhea is that highly exclusive invite-only dating app.
Mostly for celebrities and influencers, yeah.
Exactly. Well, Wes firmly denied being on it. He claims people are making fake profiles using his pictures, and he says he hasn't touched a dating app since 2022 or maybe 2023.
Which makes sense that he would aggressively deny it, because getting caught on a dating app while building a romance storyline on a show is pretty much a disaster.
Totally. He says he is very much dating Amandu Batula right now. They were seen walking her dogs in New York, and he even took her to meet his parents.
Oh, meeting the parents is a big step. Meanwhile, Kyle Cook left West a voice note recently saying he wants to sit down and hash things out. So we will see where that goes.
Let's shift over to the East Coast because we have a huge shakeup on RHONY.
Yes, Brynn Whitfield officially quit the show.
Yeah.
And her reasons for leaving are actually really wild.
Yeah, she revealed that she originally asked producers to just be a friend of back in season 1.
Which is basically a part-time cast member, right? Like, you get paid per scene, no main storyline pressure, and you don't have to show your whole personal life.
Exactly. Much less pressure. But then in season 2, she said she was so bored just 4 weeks into filming in the Hamptons that she actually ripped off her microphone pack and literally fled to London.
Wait, she fled to another country?
Yes. She fled to London. She said the producers basically had to force her back to set because of her binding contract.
That is crazy. But there was a much deeper issue too, right?
Yeah, there was. She cited a massive breach of trust with the network. She claims she had agreed to share her past sexual assault trauma with production, but only under very specific negotiated conditions.
Okay.
And she felt the producers completely ignored those boundaries when they edited and aired the show.
Wow. Yeah, that is a huge breach of trust.
So when Bravo offered her an ARC season to return, she just flatly rejected it.
And for context, an ARC season is essentially a reality TV severance package. They give you a few predetermined episodes to wrap up your story before you officially exit the cast.
Right.
But looking at her fleeing to London, I honestly think these reality TV contracts might be starting to backfire on the networks.
How so?
Well, if you legally force someone to film when they have entirely checked out emotionally, you are not getting a good show. You are basically just filming a hostage situation in designer clothes.
That is a very accurate way to put it. You really cannot force authentic emotional investment.
Nope. But looking at the rest of the RHONY cast, Jessel Tonk is confirmed to return for season 16.
She is. And she'll be joined by Aaron Leachy, Sai De Silva, part-timer Carl Radziwill, and 3 brand new cast members.
Jessel actually said that watching her first season was like looking in a mirror. She feels she has really grown into her voice and is coming back with a lot of confidence.
That will be fun to watch. Now, let's do a quick check-in on a vintage Bravo star.
Yes, Bethy Mae Frankel.
Yeah.
She made some very rare public comments about co-parenting her 16-year-old daughter, Brynn.
Right, with her ex-husband, Jason Hoppy. She said she actively strives to never badmouth him.
She also mentioned she is currently dating financial advisor Shane Campbell and is just really looking to build a larger community for herself. But the biggest Bethy Mae news, her feud with Shonell is over.
Oh my gosh, the Chicago thing.
Yeah, the Chicago thing. Remember, it started like 2 years ago when she was denied entry into a Shonell store because she didn't have an appointment.
Right, and she went on this massive public campaign against the brand.
Exactly. Well, she recently posted a video of herself happily shopping at their Panama City location, basically declaring the war has ended.
Honestly, only Bethan Frankel could declare a one-sided war against a global fashion house and then sign a peace treaty in Panama.
Truly. Okay, brace yourself for this next one, because we have an update from Brandi Glanville, and it is a medical mystery.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Brandi suspects she has, and I'm quoting her directly here, sexually transmitted ringworm in her throat.
A what? Sexually transmitted ringworm?
Yes. She believes she contracted it from an unnamed adult film actor who only performed acts on her face.
Oh, wow.
She actually consulted retired adult star Lisa Ann, who confirmed to Brandy that this is notoriously contagious within the adult film industry.
That is just wild. Did she get tested?
She did. His standard STD tests came back totally negative.
Yeah.
So she is just fully convinced it is ringworm in her throat.
I mean, I am just sheerly astonished by the phrase sexually transmitted ringworm.
Right. It is definitely not a combination of words I ever expected to read today. We're just going to leave that right there and immediately move on.
Please do. Actually, before we jump into the really heavy legal stories, we just want to take a quick second to talk to you.
Yeah, whether you are listening to this right now on your commute or hitting the gym or just doing chores around the house, we really appreciate you spending your time with us.
We absolutely do. And to clear the palate from that last story, we have a couple of fun facts for you.
Yes. First, Brooke Shields recently cleared up her history with JFK Jr. Everyone always thought it was this epic romance, but she said it was literally just a crazy crush.
She did say he gave her the best kiss of her life in Aspen, though.
True, but she stopped it from going any further. And the really fun twist here is that her daughter actually worked as a production assistant on the TV series Love Story, which is literally about JFK Jr.
That is a crazy coincidence. Here's another fun behind-the-scenes fact. The Netflix series Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders is officially coming back for Season 3 on June 16th, 2026.
But the real tea is about their pay, right?
Exactly. So back in 2019, after a big lawsuit settlement over unfair wages, their pay per game was doubled from $200 to $400.
Oh, okay.
But recently, they announced that for the upcoming 2025-2026 season, that game pay has been formally quadrupled.
I mean, it is just wild that an organization pulling in billions of dollars had to be legally pressured just to double a $200 paycheck.
Absolutely wild.
Well, speaking of legal pressure and real-life consequences, let's jump into the Atlanta updates.
Yeah, let's start with a quick friendship check-in. Cynthia Bailey says she actually spoke to Nene Leakes recently, and they are in a really great place.
Oh, good. They are filming the Roaring 20 of Ultimate Girls trip together right now.
Yeah, but on the flip side, Cynthia said she hasn't spoken a single word to Kenya Moore since that whole salon incident with Brett 80. Cynthia felt like Kenya's response to the situation was just completely beneath her.
Yeah, that situation was incredibly messy. We also have the file out from RHOA Season 17, Episode 8.
The sound bath.
The sound bath. Phaedra Parks hosted a Reiki sound bath in what she called healing waters. And unsurprisingly, the entire event fell apart.
Completely fell apart. During the event, K. Michelle dropped a bomb and revealed that Portia had previously dated K. Michelle's mutual ex, a guy named Nosh.
And right after that, Kelly Potter aggressively clashed with Portia. Kelly shouted that Portia had slept with every Nigerian in Atlanta.
Yeah, and it escalated so fast that security literally had to step in and physically separate them.
See, this proves my theory that a reality TV healing event is basically a guaranteed disaster.
How so?
Because producers spend weeks shaking up the cast with all these rumors and giving them alcohol, and then they enforce this quiet, vulnerable space for a sound bath. It acts like popping the tab on a shaken soda can. An explosion is just mechanically guaranteed.
That makes total sense. Forced vulnerability always backfires. And K. Michelle actually took to the internet right after the episode aired to defend herself.
Right, because fans were saying she had a nervous breakdown on camera.
Exactly. But she totally denied having a breakdown. She said she was simply being poked by her castmates who were desperately trying to produce a show.
She did not hold back about Portia either.
No, she explicitly said, and I quote, "frick her," regarding Portia, and she added that she wishes Angela Oakley had been brought onto the show instead.
Very clear where she stands. Let's quickly check in on Potomac. Stacey Roosh did an interview where she named Gazelle Bryant the true villain of the show.
But she meant it with respect, right?
Yeah, she actually respects Gazelle because she says Gazelle is exactly who she is on camera and off camera.
Which is rare in this franchise.
Totally. Conversely, Stacey called Ashley Darby wishy-washy, claiming Ashley acts completely different the second the cameras start rolling.
Stacey also said she feels totally vindicated regarding her marriage to her husband, Thiemo, after all those rumors.
Good for her. But now we need to get into a very serious development regarding Kim Zolciak and Croy Bierman.
Yeah, this custody battle is getting really intense. Croy filed court documents claiming Kim actively neglects their 4 minor children.
Neglects them how?
He claims she prioritizes her public image and her television jobs over the kids. And based on those specific filings, a judge actually suspended Kim's temporary custody.
Wow, just suspended it right there.
Yes, but Kim immediately filed her own documents claiming Croy flat out lied to the court. And her defense brings up a really interesting procedural issue involving their family therapist.
Right, she said the therapist legally refused a subpoena, right?
Exactly.
So how does that work legally? Because it sounds like she's saying she couldn't defend herself properly.
That is exactly what she is saying. When a therapist refuses a subpoena, they are usually invoking privilege or ethical guidelines to protect client confidentiality.
Okay.
But mechanically in the courtroom, it means Kim is blocked from properly cross-examining the evidence. She literally cannot put the therapist on the stand to challenge Croy's claims of neglect.
So the court has to make these massive temporary custody decisions based on incomplete testimony.
Exactly. It shows how one single procedural roadblock can instantly strip a parent of their custody rights while the court tries to sort it all out.
That is incredibly heavy. We will just report the filings as they hit the docket and see what the judge decides.
Right.
Now, we have an almost staggering contrast over in Rhode Island. Rory, Season 1, Episode 9.
The trivia night.
Yes. Ashley Aconetti's Audrey's Trivia Night. Rosie Dymeyer and Kelsey Swanson got into a massive fight because Kelsey walked into the bar wearing a custom sash that read, Miss Slam Pig.
Wait, she actually wore a sash.
She did. She wore it specifically to mock a harsh insult Rosie had thrown at her in a previous episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Rosie was so furious she literally stormed out of the event. And at that exact same trivia night, Alicia and Liz McGraw got into a heated argument because Liz tried to police Alicia's use of the word homeless when describing her own childhood.
Well, on a later note for Alicia, she did successfully pitch her husband Billy for a 10% stake in any future Pizza Mama locations.
Good business move.
Yeah.
And Rosie ended up inviting the entire cast, except Kelsey, obviously, to go to Boston to watch her husband Rich perform a set of Frank Sinatra songs.
But the online rumors about Kelsey are actually taking over TikTok right now.
What are people saying?
Well, a 2017 pageant video resurfaced where Kelsey talks about a 2014 car crash. Apparently, that crash led doctors to discover a brain tumor she didn't even know she had, which required immediate surgery.
Wow. That is intense.
It is. And on top of that, there are major rumors going around that Kelsey and her wealthy older boyfriend actually broke up long before Rory even began filming.
Wait, really? So her whole storyline about living in his house might have been entirely faked for the show.
That is what the TikTok rumors are suggesting, yeah.
But, I have to interrupt you here because the darkest story coming out of Rhode Island right now has nothing to do with fake boyfriends or pageant sashes.
Oh, you mean Dino?
Yes. Liz McGraw's friend, Dino Gilmet, who literally appeared on camera this season, is currently facing life in prison.
The charges against him are incredibly severe. He allegedly smuggled kilos of cocaine into the United States from the Caribbean back in November 2021.
Wait, kilos of cocaine?
Yes. He is facing 7 federal felony charges, including drug conspiracy and possessing a controlled substance with the intent to distribute.
That is just insane whiplash. I mean, you have grown women screaming at each other over a trivia night sash, and right in the background, a peripheral cast member is facing federal drug trafficking charges carrying a life sentence.
It really puts the petty reality TV drama into a very sharp, very uncomfortable perspective. Also, just for context, Liz McGraw vehemently denied the rumors that she and Dino were ever having an affair.
Right, which makes sense she would want to distance herself from that.
Yeah.
Let's move down south. The Southern Charm cast is dealing with a very messy split.
Yeah, Taylor Ann Green and Gaston Rojas have broken up after nearly 3 years together.
And Taylor went straight to TikTok to accuse Gaston of cheating on her. She heavily implied that the other woman fully knew they were in a relationship.
And instantly, Salley Carson jumped into the comments.
Wait, Gaston's ex?
Yes, his ex, who had her own very messy history on Bravo. She commented saying she is glad people finally realize he is awful.
I mean, that is textbook reality TV behavior. An ex jumping into a public comment section to retroactively validate their own past storyline.
Totally. And Gaston's response to all this, he posted lyrics from J. Cole on his Instagram, specifically the line, "I don't want no blitch from reality shows."
Wow, very mature. Okay, staying on the topic of breakups. Patrick Mendez and Thais Ramon from 90 Day Fiancé are officially divorcing after 4 years of marriage.
Patrick is actually the one who filed. He is seeking sole legal and physical custody of their 3-year-old daughter, Elise.
Okay, but what about the financial request? Because those are really specific.
It's extremely specific. So Patrick makes about $10,000 a month, which is roughly double what Thais makes, but he is explicitly not seeking child support from her.
That part seems fair.
Right. But instead, he is requesting their Honda Ridgeline truck, an $8,000 Fidelity 401k, and their Tempur-Pedic mattress.
Wait, I'm sorry, a mattress.
Yeah, he specifically asked for the Tempur-Pedic mattress in the divorce filings.
I mean, you could argue the truck and the 401k are calculated legal moves to just divide assets without getting into a messy child support battle.
Yeah.
But demanding a Tempur-Pedic mattress, that does not sound like a lawyer's strategy.
No, it does not.
Just sounds like pure petty spite to make sure your ex-wife doesn't sleep comfortably.
It definitely reads as incredibly petty. Finally, we have a very troubling factual update from the Teen Mom universe to close out the news.
Yeah, Ryan Edwards' wife, Amanda Connor, was arrested for DUI and child neglect.
And the details of the arrest report state that Ryan was actually the one who called 911 on her.
Oh.
Yeah, he reported to dispatchers that she drove off with their baby, Presley, and he strongly suspected she was under the influence of drugs.
So the authorities intercepted her vehicle, right?
They did. She was officially charged. She bonded out for $16,000 and was released.
But with very strict conditions from the judge.
Exactly. She was fitted with an ankle monitor and is legally barred from having any contact with her daughter until her scheduled court date in June.
We will continue to follow that case, strictly based on the court documents as they become available.
Absolutely.
Well, that officially covers our massive stack of notes for today. Thank you so much for sticking with us through an incredibly dense, heavy news day.
It really was a lot.
It was a ton of information to process. But we always want to remind you that we strictly report the facts provided by the articles, keeping you informed without taking sides.
Exactly. And you will definitely want to tune in for our next deep dive. We cannot give away too many details yet, but we are currently looking at a massive, completely unseen legal document dropping about one of the biggest franchise stars on the network.
Oh, it is huge.
It literally changes everything we thought we knew about a very public, multi-year feud.
I absolutely cannot wait to get into the mechanics of that document. But for now, we want to leave you with a specific thought to mull over on your own.
Yeah, think about this.
Today, we covered Dino's federal drug trafficking charges, Kim and Croy's intense custody war, and Amanda Connor's tragic arrest. With so many reality stars facing severe, real-world legal and custody battles, you really have to wonder, does the intense pressure of the reality TV cameras fundamentally create these fractures in their lives?
Right.
Or do the cameras just happen to be rolling when the inevitable finally happens? Think on that until our next deep dive.